Our next success story will be a good example of what we in the retail real estate industry might think of lateral thinking, because we're going to talk about stores and an expansion of a group that started in 1986 with 2 outlets and which is now more than 600 stores or storefronts or locations. But what you may not realize is that we're talking about the Alnahdi medical company, and who's going to share with us how a medical facility has expanded like a chicken franchise serving system. So it's very interesting looking forward to hearing from the Senior Director of Marketing External Affairs from Alnahdi Medical Company, Hussam Al-Quraishi. Please help me welcome Hussam.
Okay, I'm going to start anyway. First of all, I'm really thrilled to be here. It's a great honor to be speaking at this event with the cream of the industry. And it's also an honor for me to represent the company that I work for, Alnahdi Medical Company. Alnahdi started in 1986 with only 2 stores and has really gone through a fantastic journey. It's a journey where they enjoyed beautiful peaks of success, and it's also a journey where they suffered from the pains of failure. And only through success and failure can one gain enough wisdom and understanding and knowledge to really lead the business forward and really know what works and what does not. And ever since Sheikh Abdullah Amr al-Nahdi founded Alnahdi with 2 stores and 2 pharmacies in Jeddah, he has been expanding rapidly. It was a very interesting experience for him to introduce a pharmacy that is not only a medicine dispenser, but rather a destination for pharma and non-pharma products, where he basically increased the size of the store, added more variety, increased the merchandising, and pretty much improved the shopping experience that a pharmacy customer would have unexpected in the late 80s. And that was pretty much the key factor of success. Success over success, he started buying more stores, getting more locations. Until 2002, he had nearly 300 pharmacies. And as with any family business, when you try to keep your control and try to keep managing your baby tends to become pretty hard to manage. So that was the point where he had to invite an investor, which is Sedco, for the Bin Mahfouz family, and they have invested 50% equity into the company. And that was a very important turning point, because that was the philosophy of separating ownership from management came into the business. And it took nearly 3 years, nearly 4 years actually, to reach a point where the management decided that the burning platform cannot be tolerated anymore. And I'm going to be sharing with you some pictures and issues that have plagued the company back until 2007. And 2007 was the point where a new president came in, a new philosophy came in, and a new way of thinking came in. So I'm going to refer to who read the 7 Habits for Covey in this crowd? Pretty much everyone. The 7 Habits in a simple sense, just a quick reminder, it's basically the journey that helps you move on from dependence to independence to interdependence. And what we wanted to do was really start from the 8th habit. The company needed to find its voice. In 2007, we had nearly 450 outlets. We had major problems with the regulators, an incredible amount of turnover. We had pharmacists that were in remote locations making their own orders. We had no infrastructure. Everything was manual. It was a true disaster. So basically, finding our voice requires us to engage genuinely into the talents that fueled our passion, to sense unmet needs and fully harness our talents and passions to meet that need. To find your voice means to take the path to greatness rather than settling for mediocrity. So we had to aim high. The management team at that time traveled to different parts of the world. We met the management of Boots, CVS, Walgreens, all of the iconic pharmacies that we see when we travel abroad. These were the standards that we wanted to bring into Alnahdi. So we looked at so my story is not really a story of sophistication and complexity. It's really a story of fundamentals. And when things start getting tough in any business, you have to go back to the fundamentals. Because the fundamentals are the things that really help you start putting things together, looking at things clearly. And I've been very critical about the marketing, corporate social responsibility, and advertising activities of the company. And I actually hesitated to join Alnahdi a year ago and establish the marketing department. But when I look at the things that the company needed to look at back in 2007, I think they made perfect sense. So the four components of a voice were the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit. So I'm going to talk about the body, and the body is for you to survive and live. We had absolutely chaotic retail operations and supply chain. And we embarked on a major journey to improve the environment, the compensation systems, the working hours, which has made a significant improvement to our system. Our retail operations, just imagine this, 450 pharmacists. Every pharmacy has a fax machine. Every pharmacist sending a fax to a central room in the warehouse where you had 35 operators receiving those faxes, taking these order forms and sending them out to the vendors. Imagine how many papers get lost in the way, how the inventory is mismanaged, how late the products are, the incredible amount of out-of-stocks and lost opportunity that come with such chaos. Luckily, right now, we have a very solid IT infrastructure. We've implemented Oracle 360 into our retailers. Our current forecasting and replenishment happens through a central order system. We're using sophisticated forecasting tools and technologies to help us manage the 645 pharmacies that we are today. And we have reached very good levels of product availability with an average of 95 to 98%. I don't want this to surprise you, but this is where we were in 2007. When the CEO first visited this warehouse facility, and by the way, this was business as usual. This was not one of the worst days. This was just a normal day in the warehouse. And he saw cats, cats roaming in the warehouse. So he started asking people, what are the cats doing here? So they told him, well, you need the cats to catch the mice. So it was that bad, okay? So that's when the CEO, Dr. Bandar Hamo, said, let's take this, let's reset. Let's look at our current processes. We did a detailed, basically, process mapping for everything we do. We took a detailed material flow and how the products move from Jeddah all the way to the different cities. We captured all the detailed transactions. We did performance measurements. And then we basically put a 5-year plan that tackled every single element of the business. We talked about IT, forecasting. We've implemented the sales and operation planning process that is very common in manufacturing, but we've implemented it even in a retail business. Market optimization, supplier relationship management, warehouse optimization. And we identified all of the enablers, and we put it in a 5-year map. This is where we are today. We have world-class facilities, refrigerated warehouses, refrigerated zones for storing medicine and milk. We also have a refrigerated fleet of trucks and vans that take the medicines and products to 72 cities and towns across the country. And they are mapped by GPS. And just to give you a little bit of depth, every car is monitored for temperature. If the temperature drops below a certain limit, it has a certain period of time. If it's not restored, the shipment is immediately terminated and retrieved back for maintenance. So we put a lot of effort and attention into the quality of the products we send out to the stores. We started fixing the fundamentals of our compensation system and organization. So we did a new HR policy, developing job descriptions. Now, to you, this might seem very trivial and normal, but in a company like Alnahdi, we really started from scratch. We re-engineered our grading system, used market salary data, did all the things that are really needed to improve. So that was how we addressed the body in order to live. Now, the second component of the voice was the mind. And this is where we had to invest into the capabilities and knowledge of our pharmacists. We have over 1,500 pharmacists in our group. That's the largest concentration of pharmacists in the Middle East and North Africa. It's a very big population of pharmacists. And they are the interface of the company. They are the ones that interface with the customers. They drive the business. They represent the company's brand. And so we did a lot of training for them. We took them through technical trainings, understanding pharmaceutical interactions, drug-drug interactions, and also through the soft skills required to sell. Conflict resolution, sales, leadership, store management. And we also introduced more management trainings to the head office, like situational leadership, communication, interpersonal skills. These were things that were not taught in the company. We completely changed the executive team, the management team, and we have a totally different company at this stage. We started sharing knowledge. This is one of our responsibilities. We've started doing some trainings at King Abdulaziz University, at King Saud. And this has become a normal thing now, is that we send pharmacists to provide clinical pharmacy trainings for students. And the third component of the voice was the heart. And this is to love. And we wanted people to be loyal, to really be engaged. So what we've done is that we've improved the incentive system for the pharmacists to improve their loyalty. We reorganized the company in a way that really retains people, encourages them to stay. We also introduced, I'm going to go a little quickly here, in terms of Saudization, we've created a completely new position in the pharmacy called Pharma Assistant. And this was an excellent employment opportunity for Saudis, because this is a job that is pretty much about inventory management, tracking expired products, making sure that the store environment is intact. And we are now in the process of hiring 1,000 Saudis to fill the positions of pharma assistants, cashiers, and beauty consultants. It's a major opportunity for us to fix our Saudization, which is already high at 25%, but this is an even further opportunity. And finally, the spirit. And the spirit is to leave a legacy. And here is where we started implementing the White Code, which is basically a governance system that enforces our pharmacists to follow a certain codes and procedure to ensure that they comply, that they do the right thing, they avoid conflict of interest, they stick to the codes of integrity and ethics that a pharmacist must stick to. Our vision and mission and values. Our vision is to be and be recognized as the pioneers in helping communities live a healthier and more beautiful life. And this was a very engaging vision for everybody, because be and be recognized is really the core of it. We do not want to be perceived as a leading and pioneer in the industry, but we want to be that from the inside. And our mission is to be the leading provider of the best products and services that improve the well-being of the communities we serve. We strive for excellence, attract the best talents, we maximize shareholder value, and are good corporate citizens. Some of the results: we have world-class supply chain and distribution network. We have we achieved more than 300 pharmacy openings across the past 4 years. Until the last update yesterday, we are at 645 pharmacies. We doubled our sales and profit margins, and we now have over 1,500 well-trained pharmacists. The location selection process is no longer random and haphazard. We've actually consulted world-class consultants, and they've basically dissected the entire country into small squares. We've analyzed the population clusters across the country, and now we are within 5 minutes to 60% of the Saudi community. And we're aiming by 2016 to reach 1,021 stores to become within 5 minutes to 90% of the community. So our innovation and plans for the future is to create a new brand, improve the store layout. We believe we have the fundamentals now to create a new shopping experience for the customers. Introduce corporate social responsibility that is part of our supply chain, not just a PR stunt or gimmick, something that we do on every day, and that to serve the 55 million customers that come into our stores every year. Develop private labels and exclusive imports, offer basic health services, introduce CRM and loyalty programs, and enhance our network. And most importantly, as a pharmacy, become part of the healthcare industry. Because as a pharmacy, we do believe that we have not yet reached the potential that we have to fulfill our duty as a community pharmacy and not just a medicine dispenser. We have 55 million transactions per year. We serve more than 5 million households every year, and we believe that we can make a significant impact and also improve the reach and equity of basic health care to the 72 cities and towns we serve across the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hussam, to put so much energy and vision and values into a business that we all take for granted and we only visit when we're sick and in a bad mood. So I think it's really great to see what's behind the pharmacy business and how vital and exciting it is. We'll take one question to Hussam before we move on to our final speaker. Is anybody who would like to ask? There was great clarity in his presentation. I see nothing, then I won't beg the question. Hussam, thank you very much for sharing this with us. Thank you.